So let's talk about La La Land Kind Cafe. Can you tell me a little bit about the concept and sort of what your idea was?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the not so long version of the story is I used to do restaurants. I ended up starting my nonprofit, which is called the We Are One Project, that was basically trying to help kids who were aging out of foster care. And we were trying to basically cover every base we possibly could to lead a kid who was aging out into adulthood, right? And that for us meant job placement, mentorship, therapy, and housing. Basically, we spent a year doing that, and we were very passionate about the system, mainly because we had visited a Dallas CASA meeting. I'm not sure if you're familiar with who they are, but they basically had brought in three kids who had said their story about aging out, and I had no idea what that even meant. I didn't even know that was a real thing. We just assumed that kids go into foster care and get adopted, and these three kids said literal horror stories. And then, my thought process was, oh, this must be rare. Like, this probably never happens. And then they go over the statistics and you're like mind blown, because this is something you've never even heard of. And you think about the fact that if there's probably anyone in our country that needs help, it's literally the kids that go into our government system and have no parents, right? That basically makes me and you responsible for them. And no one understands the problem. So we were just very passionate about trying to give these kids a chance, right? Of course, we believe in second chances, but these kids never even got a first one. And basically, while we were doing that for a year, it wasn't working very well, because even if we were putting a kid in a house and has the best therapist and whatever, and all that's set and ready, as an adult, you still need a stable job and career to maintain yourself. And that was just never happening. No matter, first of all, it was very hard to even get that first job placement, because most employers were just not willing to give someone a job with little or no resume. And then even if they were, a lot of the times it was like Taco Bell, and they're not going to have the patience to teach someone basic job skills. Look, any 18-year-old's first job is difficult, right? Then you take into account you never had parents to teach you any sort of basic skills. You lived in 20 different homes. You're taking a bus and a train from 2 hours away. It's a difficult task to take on. And, Taco Bell, you're late 15 minutes twice and you're out of there. So it just wasn't working. And basically that problem led us to wanting to create a place where we could actually hire and mentor the youth ourselves. And not only that, it was, the business has two main missions, I would say. One, of course, is to hire and mentor foster youth, and more so create a platform that we can share with other businesses. Our goal is to solve a mass amount of the problem. That's not going to happen by just, even if you have 1,000 cafes open, it's not every kid wants to work in a cafe. We need other businesses to come and contribute as well. So we want to create a platform that works for, let's say, Walmart, which we've been working with, or Taco Bell, which we've actually been working with, for them to have an actual system that works for them. So that's half of our mission. And the other half, as you mentioned, is normalizing kindness. We just, the simplest form to put it in, and what we mean by that is, look, we just don't think that human beings care about each other as much as we should. We don't truly understand what someone else is going through. We all grow up and life gets a bit depressing for almost anyone, and we don't feel the love for each other, and the care is just not there. And so that's also a big reason why we chose coffee and specifically hospitality, because we knew that we could physically touch you on almost a daily basis, right? And that's hard to do in any other business. And through normalizing kindness, we do it through, for example, genuine compliments. As a human being, we probably walk around all day and subconsciously think like 50 compliments about people, where someone's wearing cool glasses or she has beautiful hair. And as a human being, we are just not trained to vocalize those things because it's embarrassing, or you don't know the person or whatever it is. So part of what we do is very blatantly trying to normalize kindness through things like genuine compliments, right? In our stores, when people walk in, we love to point out what's amazing about them. People are so unique and cool, and we want to make sure that people understand that. And look, that one simple compliment that you get, I know for me and probably anyone that I know, someone tells you one thing at the beginning of your day, you're probably thinking about that all day, and it also makes you more confident in that. You feel better about yourself, and you're more likely to say something to someone else, right? And if I can get you into this shop where this is constantly happening to you, you're more likely to go out and do it as well, right? Another thing that we do as a company is we tell people we love them as they're leaving. It's very odd, right? For most people to think of walking out of a coffee shop. But again, a part of normalizing kindness is normalizing human beings loving each other, right? For me, growing up, it's something that I guess has been a weird part of my personality. Is I tell people I love them very, very openly. And so it became a part of the company because we wanted, first of all, some people don't hear that in so long, right? To hear love you or whatever it is casually. And so for us to be able to also normalize the words so that people start saying each other a bit more, especially with our team, for example, we had people who had almost never even said those words and now can't stop saying it 50 times a day, even outside of work, right? It's not just about, it changes us as people. And when the beauty of coffee is, you think about Starbucks, there's people that literally go into Starbucks every single day of their life, every single day. So Starbucks has a massive power there to really affect you as a human being, right? So if you're coming into Lala now every day or 3 times a week or whatever it is, and you're getting complimented and the energy's high and people are telling you that they love you and everyone just generally loves each other and you feel that energy in there, that is destined to change you as a person once you leave, right? And to sum it up, really, that's what it means for us to normalize kindness.
That's so great. And you talk about that you're sort of bringing a lot of these things to other companies that you're working with, places like Taco Bell and Walmart. How are you helping them train others to bring in people who may not have the experience?
That's a great question. So even for us, I think we're about 2.5 years in since our first store opened, since our program launched. Our program is nowhere near perfect. And it's something that every month basically changes for us to try to make it better. We actually didn't want to quite start these partnerships yet. And we've been very open with them in terms of, hey, we didn't want to start sharing this information until we knew that it's golden and good to go. It's still, if we share something with you now, it might change next month because it's still very versatile, right? We fail a lot. It's a very sensitive area, and we're trying to every month figure out ways to get better. For them, for example, we share what our program is in terms of what they learn on the job and how does that management and culture work, and then what our youth director teaches them off the job, right? Because for us, it's a twofold problem. One, of course, our youth director has to take care of making sure the youth has proper housing, or if they need to see therapists or they need to see the doctor, and their outside life is kind of taken care of. And then our in-store manager is really teaching them the job skills, right? For us right now, currently, it's an 8-week paid internship program where basically they can come in, and this also changed after 1.5 years. We used to hire youth directly, and what that was doing was putting way too much pressure on them. And because of that, they weren't seeming to thrive as much as we would have liked to. So we changed it to an 8-week paid internship so they could just come in and learn without any pressure and really be ready for a job, right? And at the end of the 8 weeks, our youth director basically sees whether they would like to stay with us and they like working in a cafe. And if not, what their passion is. And our youth director helps them find a job in that area. And the beautiful thing is now they have something on the resume and an actual reference.
Be sure to check out more independent restaurant news content at restaurant-hospitality.com.